I remember there's an article in GQ where Brad Pitt described himself as a gazelle, and he said they asked him, they said how many other because he's like we're in the open plains and lions are watching us. It was something over the top, and then they were like, how many gazelles are there in Hollywood? And he's like, there are like maybe 5 of us,
which is crazy.
And it's probably a little low, seeing as what you just listed. They're all gazelles, but
he's one. He's
you
on
have
that
to
list.
be.
That's how he described that level of fame.
Yeah.
I'm a gazelle.
I'm a gazelle,
which was so cocky.
That's pretty tight.
It was so,
dude.
and then to be like, they asked him, and he kind of pauses, and it's like there's like 5. It's like because he can actually think in his head, like me and my few buddies. That's it. That's fucking dope.
It is. He came to my show last month.
Really?
In LA.
Oh yeah, you had pictures with him too.
Sure.
Yeah. And first of all, like you are trying to. He does a good job of. I think really famous people who obviously know they have an effect on a room.
Yeah.
You know.
Some
Some of them, obviously, maybe don't care to make you feel normal, but he makes the effort. He's like, I'm so excited to be here, I'm such a big fan. And I'm like, right. Yeah. And
does that fuck you up when you're on stage knowing that Brad Pitt's out there?
No, because he did such a good job
making
before,
you
before. And he's like talking about it. And then at one point, we're just like, he's asking me, he's like, "This is what you do before the show?" You're just like, because basketball, he's like, "You watch basketball, listen to music." I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You don't have to prepare." I'm like, "I'm prepared." and
I'm good, dude.
I was like, "I've been on tour for 6 months. I'm prepared." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And then we're just shooting the shit. And then he's like, "All right, I'm gonna go out there." And so I have the security that I brought escort him. Right?
Is this in LA?
In LA.
Yeah.
And so he has a bucket hat on. And his hair is up in it, right? And so you see that. And then I go, yeah, man. Can you go anywhere? And he goes, check this out. And he reaches in, and he has like an oversized mask. So he puts it on.
The whole thing.
You see this, and then the hat's here, and the hair's up here. And I was like,
he goes, never ever know.
And I'm like, holy shit!
Wow.
Like none. And then Ryan Sickle goes, looks like Chad Pitt. And,
yeah, I mean the mask shit for them must have been the best thing that's ever happened.
This dude, he sat through the whole show.
Nobody knew.
Nobody knew. After the show, he comes back, super gracious, hangs out a little bit, and then he goes, "We're going to another show. We're going to go to see some music thing." And I was like, cool. And I was like, oh yeah, he can do this now. Yeah. Like, especially right now.
He wants this shit to keep going.
Oh, I feel like you'll be able to do that forever. Because I don't think anyone's gonna think it's like there will always be someone who's in a mask.
Yeah, yeah. It won't just be Japanese people. It'll be like somebody will always be like. You'll be like.
It won't be like.
It'll be like 7 years from now. You'll be like, you can really knock it off, man. But there'll always be people that are like, yeah.
Was he solo?
No. Okay. But he, it is wild. I think to be around someone, and I did think during that Oscar shit, I was like, oh yeah, he could be somebody. If they were like, leave, he'd be like, no. I'm gonna eat pizza here,
right?
Like,
I can take my dick
Domino's
right
is
now.
on the way.
Yeah.
They bring you fucking bring anyone.
And then also, can you imagine also the people who they send to ask you to leave at that are so intimidated.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're like,
could you please maybe consider?
I asked Leonardo DiCaprio to leave, and he was like. He shrugged.
Yeah.
And then
I bet you certain guys wouldn't even like acknowledge.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you do?
Like,
he pretended he couldn't hear me. I was yelling in his face.
Yeah.
You have to send like The Rock to be like, look, I'll pick you up.
Some guy who doesn't give a fuck.
I will physically remove you from here because no one else can.
I know it's a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a couple security people that we brought to shows, and like to see them like remove somebody physically that doesn't want to leave. It's
great.
It's great.
Yeah. All right, thanks for watching this episode of KFC Radio. If you like watching it on YouTube, imagine watching it live on stage with us in person. Right now, the KFC Radio live tour is coming to a city near you. We have tickets on sale in Nashville, in Philly, and in Chicago. You can click here or click in the link below and get tickets. Come with your friends. Come alone. We hang out. We have a blast. We get shit-faced, and you can meet us. 2 handsome guys. 1 handsome guy and an okay guy. You be the judge of who that is. It's me. The handsome one. He's the okay one.
Comment below.